I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of the Shooting Show. This is my lovely wife, Heather. We're very pleased to be here today. In fact, we're not exactly sure. We're not sure exactly where we are because of the catastrophic loss this week of satellite G4. So we don't know. If you're watching this on cable, it's not important, but this program may rerun because a lot of our audience is going to be looking for us. We're in hopes that we'll be back in the same location next week. They're moving another satellite in. They're moving G6 over to where G4 was. Feel better now?
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, that's kind of where we are. We're not exactly sure. But if you're seeing us, we're in the right spot, wherever this may be. Well, friends, we had an absolutely fabulous weekend at Clark's Hunt.
Fantastic.
It really was. We had so many people come from all over the United States to visit with us and enjoy. It was, again, the best shooting event that's going to be held in the United States this year, the best shooting exhibition, because there were more types of shooting going on than any other place that I'm aware of in the United States. We had some cowboy action shooting, we had some silhouette shooting going, we had the great demonstrations by Jerry Michalik, by K. Clark Michalik, by Jim Clark Jr. Certainly had some great shooting. Our good friend Bob Serva was there. In fact, let's show right now, show something that very special that Bob Serva made in a commemorative little hatchet there. And I think that's pretty good because, you know, I see this as somewhat symbolic, as cutting through an instrument to cut through the red tape. I want to show you this right now. Hey, you see, friends, how nicely this is done. The Shooting Show 1998 second annual Fun Gun Weekend, May 16th and 17th. And I tell you, you can take a look at the Minuteman there, briefly looking. That is so nicely done, and we appreciate our good friend Bob Serva making this in commemoration for our terrific weekend. And yes, we need to cut through some red tape and get some of these ridiculous gun laws off the books instead of more on. We need to get some off. Friends, I think that's just terrific, the workmanship, and yes, that thing is sharp. You know, right now, we're facing the most dangerous situation. You know, the Clintons have done it again, or the Clintonian regime, whatever you want to call it. Right now, we understand that the communist Chinese was able to get some of the military encryption information off this satellite, as we understand it. Friends, we have been sold out at the highest level. Now, you know what? We cannot allow ourselves, our families, to go defenseless, because nobody knows what the communist Chinese is going to pull. If they could send, right now we know of at least 13, maybe as many as 18 nuclear warhead tipped missiles that are aimed here at cities in the United States. You know, friends, if we had any kind of national emergency like that, 911 wouldn't work. It would be an absolute state of chaos. And you know what?
Everything would be a blackout.
It really would.
Communications.
And those of us who do not have personally owned firearms and ammunition are going to be up the well-known creek. Now, you can count on that. You realize that in the stores now, in your grocery store, that we feel so secure in going down to, realize there are only 2 days of food. Hey, Blue, you can come on in here, son. You know, there are only 2 days of food in the grocery stores. Honestly, friends, all of us ought to have a little bit of food put back. We ought to have as much spare ammunition and certainly as many serviceable guns as we can properly take care of. These are serious times, friends. Honestly, there's a big T word that we're careful about saying on here, but we have some behavior that has gone on in Washington that a lot of people are saying qualifies as downright treasonous. All right, that's something that we here today can't do anything about. We can only do something about the circumstances that we have. Incidentally, some things coming up. We hope our country survives. We hope that we can get these people out of office and get some decent folks in. But let me tell you what's coming now. There's some new regulations on guns that, you know, it's one brick out of the wall after another, just a little bit by little bit by little bit. Listen, there's new regulation coming besides what's in November, when everything, whether it be a handgun or a shotgun or a rifle, you're going to have permission. You're going to have to submit to getting the government's permission to buy anything. If I was going to buy any guns and I didn't want to be on a computer list with the government somewhere, I'd try and do it before November. Another thing is regulations coming that if you send your gun in for repair to a warranty station or to a custom gunsmith, guess what? Right now there's legislation that has been approved or directives that have been approved, and we think this is coming from the FBI, that if you send your gun in for repair, you're going to have to go through a background check before you can get it back. Now friends, this is a situation where the government does not trust its own citizens. When a government does not trust its citizens, the citizens should not trust the government. This is a big one. And you know, that's why we're here, is to keep as many of you as informed as we possibly can. With our radio show, we're so appreciative of our internet connection because honestly, due to satellite failure, this program may rerun in the following week because of the satellite difficulties. We will post it on the internet, and certainly listen to our radio show on the American Freedom Network on Sundays from noon until 2 o'clock Eastern Time. And certainly you can find out where we're going to be there. We'll be talking about our satellite location for this program and for our gospel show too, for that matter. So remember that the American Freedom Network is at GE1 Channel 7 5.8 audio. Again, it's on GE1 Channel 7 5.8 audio there, and you can get our radio program. Well friends, honestly, it's just another hit. This thing kind of came at an inopportune time, but there's not a good time for any kind of disaster like this. And hey, we're on today, so we do want to tell you that we're trying as hard as we can to stay on the air. Our sponsors are not enough at this time. We're here today in part because of your contributions. If you want to see the shooting show stay on the air, please, please. So many times people say, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing we can do. There is something you can do. You can help us stay on the air and reach more people. Friends, it's got to be done. And we are very close financially. We are on the razor's edge. It's a miracle we're here today. So please, if you can, help us. If you can, send whatever you can to the shooting show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. And honestly, friends, we've got to keep up this fight, because you know what? We don't know if we're going to win or not. We don't know that. Right now we're losing this battle, but we're making a little progress. We know what will happen if we quit. We know what will happen. It's going to all be gone. All the guns, all the ammunition, everything's going to be gone if we let it go. Television is the strongest communication medium that's ever been invented. If you don't think our program's important, realize it's been about 2 months ago now, 6 or 8 weeks ago, that somebody jammed our program because, you know why? They didn't want our signal. They didn't want the truth going out.
That's right.
Now, we're being lied to on a grander scale probably than at any time in American history. And that's why we're here today, to simply tell the truth. Are they that afraid of the truth? I guess they should be. But you know what, friends? We're going to stay in here pitching as long as we have a nickel to get on the air with. If you can help us, please do. Please send whatever you can. This is not a joke. This is not a cry of wolf. This is serious.
It sure is.
Well, another thing, on the internet, our programming can be found, thankfully, thanks to one of our great viewers out there that's doing this for us, and we really appreciate him more than we can say. You can find us at http://sshow.home.ml.org. And if your computer has the Yahoo search engine, all you have to do is put in quotation marks, shooting show, 2 words, shooting show, quotation marks, and it'll take you right over to Access where you can get our program. Well, friends, we are glad to have you. We have some great tape footage today of our Fun Gun Weekend. It was that, wasn't it, Heather?
It was terrific. It was really like a family reunion.
It really was. And you know what? We just encourage you, those of you that if you like what you see, and the camaraderie and the great fellowship, the great time we had, and certainly some great shooting, just put it on your calendar for next year. We're going to try and do it along about May 16, 17 next year. I haven't looked at the calendar, but it's the weekend after Mother's Day. It will be a great time. It's so much fun and so enjoyable to see our viewers and talk to people that care so much about what we're doing. Well, let's get another shooting show underway. In fact, why don't you start our shooting show today with a little. You like those machine guns, huh?
I like those machine guns.
Let's do it right now.
Okay.
Okay. That's for MG42.
Now Heather's really going to want a machine gun. Okay, go ahead.
So got in.
That is fun.
Now, friends, here it is. This is the IAI Model 5000 semi-automatic pistol, 1911 commander-sized, all-forged pistol from the good folks there in Houston, Texas, IAI. Let's see it in action. Friends, here it is up close. This is the same gun you have seen on the program from Israel Arms International under the Gall name, but what they want to do is make something a little easier to say, so we have a more Americanized name. You can see all the special features this gun has. The forward serrations on the slide, easy to see, front sight that won't come out, easy to see 3-dot sights, the custom finger groove grip, the beaver tail grip safety with the extension here, so you'll be sure and get a proper grip so the gun will fire. All kinds of extras we would not normally expect to see on a service type gun. An extended magazine release here, a lightweight trigger, serrations on the trigger guard for those who prefer to shoot like so. It's really going to keep the gun from walking around there in your hand. You have an extended slide stop, an extended safety. Really terrific guns, all forging from the good people at IAI in Houston, Texas. These are commander-sized semi-automatic pistols with all the bells and whistles at some fantastic pricing. Friends, these guns are going to retail under $500. Let's see it in action. All 1911 parts will interchange. Absolutely superior function, excellent accuracy for a service grade pistol, absolutely, from the good folks at IAI.
Remember, the Model 5000 is available in the great all-American caliber 45 ACP. It has the best price, it's the best product, all the bells and whistles, is available in two-tone and blue. For information, give them a call, 1-800-599-2561. Again, 1-800-599-2561, and be sure and tell them that you saw it on our show. And you know, these days when worldwide violence and terror are on the rise, being prepared is the key for survival. Instinctive Shooting International can help using the Israeli technique. They're offering classes there in Houston for qualified civilians and law enforcement personnel. They can also send trainers throughout the United States. For information, give them a call, 1-800-599-2561. Instinctive Shooting International, again, 1-800-599-2561.
Stay tuned for more of The Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Well, hello. We're over here at Clark Custom Guns, friends. This is our Fun Gun Weekend. I'll tell you what, it is going to be great. We've seen people from all over the country already. We're looking very forward. Looks like it's going to be a good time, huh?
Yeah, we've been having a really good time, and we're going to have a fun day today.
Oh, we absolutely are. We're so glad you could join us. Trust me, you're going to really enjoy some of the things we're going to show you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually not the Three Musketeers. However, we are on a mission here. You'll recognize our good friend Ron DeLong here on your left, and of course our good friend Bill Lewis here on your right. And gentlemen, we're out here in the midst of the Fun Gun Weekend. It's going great, isn't it?
It's wonderful. I wish Frank Dean could have been here to join us.
We sure do.
A lot of nice people's here. We've had fun. The weather's been great too.
You know, I talked to some of the folks from New York, and they said, "Boy, it's humid down here in Louisiana." I said, "You think? I mean, we thought this was a dry day." But we have really had such a great time so far. Of course, today, this is Sunday as we're shooting this, and we're looking forward. We're about to go on the radio. We're going to do an interview with Sheriff Jim Wilson, which I don't know where that's going to appear in the program today. But we want to thank everyone, certainly Ron and Bill and everyone that came. We have had a wonderful meet here. Biggest family reunion I've ever been to, huh?
Really enjoyed it.
It's been wonderful, yes.
Well, that's great. Well, let's go on. Let's see what we got to do next, huh?
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the first of the exhibitions on Saturday at our Fun Gun Weekend. We have Jerry Michalik and his wife, Kay Clark Michalik, who are going to be giving us their fabulous demonstrations they're going to do, and I know you're going to enjoy it.
Jerry's going to start off a little today. I'm going to warm you up, and then the big boys will come on after me. I guess if I have a claim to fame, besides being Jim Clark's daughter, there's your daddy over there, too. Let me introduce Daddy. There's Jim Clark and Steve over there. I am a two-time world IPSC women's champion and several-time national champion. IPS shooting is a little different from the old bullseye shooting that Mr. Womack and my father used to, where you stand, you know, same target day after day. And don't tell them, but I think that's really boring, but, you know, we're not going to say that. IPSC shooting is different every time you walk up to the line. No stage of fire is the same. I'm going to show you a few things that you have to be able to do in order to, I guess, excel at IPSC shooting. You can see from my rig, we draw out of the holster a lot of the time. But sometimes you may walk up to a stage and you have to start laying on the bed with your gun in a drawer, or sitting in a car with a gun in the glove box. You never know on an IPSC stage. Like I say, every stage is different. What's kind of got me excited right now about IPSC is that it has been approved as a exhibition sport in the 2004 Olympics. So I hope that's going to give it a shot in the arm. As you can see by the targets, IPSC has its roots in self-defense shooting. It started as police training and military training, and then of course civilians got a hold of it and turned it into a game. Unfortunately, the heads on these targets are offensive to some people, so in the Olympics they had to change the shape of the target because they weren't politically correct. But anyway, it has been approved as an exhibition sport, so hopefully I'll get some young people interested. I'm just going to get up here and do a few important things that you have to be able to do for IPSC competition. Just draw out of the holster. IPSC is not just accuracy, it is time. Your score is decided by points on the stage divided by the time you're running. So, as you can see, the targets are fairly big. The A zone is fairly big. If I take my time, I should never miss that A zone. But the trick is, I'm going to have to do it faster than everybody else do. So, you might see me get a few out of the A zone here today, maybe more than a few. But the point is, I'm going for time also. Let's play it a one-shot draw. Hopefully I'll be getting a one-shot draw in around 1 second. Of course, consider that you have to consider the reaction time. Jerry's going to have a timer. He'll explain to you how it works. When I hear that timer, it's when I go. I'll do some one-shot draws, maybe a few double taps, something we call a bill drill, which is just shooting 6 shots as fast as I can pull the trigger. And of course, the trick is to keep it on the target, pulling the trigger as fast as I can. Go ahead.
Okay. The first thing about IPSC shooting, you see a lot of people on the range, and they all have a gun in a holster. They have ammunition on their body. You cannot handle your gun or the ammunition at the same time, ever, unless you're in a shooting position. If I'm in back of the crowd playing with my gun and they see me, I'm gone. That's a #1 safety violation. It's a very safe sport. We do not tolerate any unsafe gun handling. So as a competitor, Kay will come to the line, gun in a holster, and she'll only load when I give her the load command. And when she finishes the string of fire, she has to unload and show an empty gun. So there's no gun play. You're not walking around with your buddies looking at your new scope and playing with your magazines. You only pick your gun up out of the holster when it's time to shoot. You clear it, you put it back. So it's a very safe sport. In that respect, they won't tolerate any unsafe gun handling. The timer I have here, as soon as the timer starts to beep, the clock starts to run. It's accurate to within 100th of a second. So I'm going to go ahead and start it and click it, and you can go back and review what I just did. Number 1 was 96 hundredths of a second, and number 2 was 1.39 hundredths of a second. And you can go back and look at the difference of 43 hundredths. So with a timing mechanism like this, you can time everything that you've done. So with that in mind, I'm going to start Kay from the surrender position. I'll give her the command to load and make ready. She'll load her gun, put it in the holster. When her hands are over her shoulders, that's a safe start position. I know she's ready to shoot. And I'll give her the shooter ready, stand by, and the timer. She'll draw and shoot 1 shot. Get started. Okay. The line is safe. You clear the load. Shooter ready. Stand by. You got 2 in 1 shot. That's even better. Her reaction time to the first shot was 1.11 hundredths of a second. Let's do it again. Stand by. Got another A hit, 98 hundredths of a second. React and fire 1 shot. One more time. Shooter ready. Stand by. That was 9600. She had a B zone hit right off to the left. You want to do it?
One more time.
One more time. Shooter ready. Stand by. And load it. What I like to do for you is just to start off, just draw and shoot 6 rounds on 1 target and see if we can get 6 rounds out in under a second from the first to the last shot. Okay. What I'm going to do here is put the timer on a random start, assume the surrender position, and when the timer goes off, draw and shoot 6 rounds on 1 target. Let's shoot the target in the middle. All right. Let's see how long that took. Total time was 186. And the first shot, if I can draw back on number 1 here, was 106. So that was exactly 0.8 of a second from the first to the last shot. What you think? 625 revolver, pretty controlled. Let's go ahead and my gun's clean. I got this practice ammunition again. And one of the things about a revolver in a competition, you have to be able to do a fast reload to be competitive. And that's where the 625 really comes in. Gun empty, I got dummy ammunition. I'd like to just do you a slow motion on what I do when I do a reload. I'm right-handed. Of course, after I fired my 6 rounds, I open the cylinder, present the gun to the left hand. When I eject the spent cartridges, I try to do it with the muzzle up and down. What I'm trying to do when I eject the spent cartridges is to have any unburned powder or lead shaving leave the gun with the empty cases. If you do it like this, there's a tendency to drag the cartridges out, and any unburned powder will collect under the extractor. Then when you go to close it, it's really tight. So with that in mind, the gun goes in my left hand, comes around like this, I load it, put the gun back in the right hand, present it back to the target, and fire it 6 more times. Let's set this timer. How fast should a fella be able to do that? Let's set it at 6 seconds. So in 6 seconds, I have to react to the clock, draw the gun, snap it 6 times, come around, load it with the dummy ammunition, close it, put it back in the gun hand, and shoot 6 more. Something. So, we made it. Give you an idea of the moon clip. Now let's see if I can do it with the real thing. First, I'm gonna come up with a pretty good excuse. Earlier in the week when I was cleaning up over here, went to start a lawnmower and the lawnmower backfired and pulled the rope through my hand. So I'm a little bit bruised up. Might take me a couple of times to get excited here. Let's see if we can do this in under 6 seconds.
That'd be my excuse, too. I'd stick to it.
I am.
That one couldn't work, your reverse blood came.
Let's shoot the target on the right. Come on, timer. That's how you beat the timer. All right, here we go. Okay, 6 shots, 1 target on the left. I got a steel behind it. All right, the total time was 2.01 hundredths of a second. What I'll do for you now is to draw and shoot 2 rounds on each of the 3 targets a little bit faster than 2 seconds. So that's going to have to give me about 16 hundredths of a second to move 3 or 4 feet. What you think? Yeah. All right, 2 on each. Well, that was 180. Almost in the stick. Anyway, it's very possible to move from target to target at the same rate of fire it is to engage one.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, here it is, the great Georgia Arms ammunition. Notice these ballistic tip nozzle bullets in this Georgia Arms ammunition. You see, this is equivalent to a box of 20 for only $7.95. Now, friends, that is a terrific price for essentially custom-loaded ammunition. Of course, for the plain full metal jacket, it is much less expensive. Here's another tremendous bag of Georgia Arms ammunition, 7mm Remington Magnum, 20 rounds, only $17.95, loaded with these premium Nosler ballistic tips. I tell you, this is custom ammunition at a discount price. Tell you what, friends, the good people at Georgia Arms do understand what's going on in this country. They understand how important our gun rights are, and they're supporting us on this project. The good news is you can get absolutely superior ammunition at discount prices, whether you have a handgun or a rifle. If you want to take that big hunt, you can afford to practice with your rifle as well as use that same ammunition on the hunt because they are so reasonably priced. These are some of the nicest people we have ever met in this business, bar none, and they're down in beautiful Villa Rica, Georgia. So please, friends, if you would, you can get a free catalog with a free phone call. That's as good as the deal gets. A free catalog, free phone call, 1-800-624-6861. Again, Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861. And please tell them you saw it here on our shooting show.
Friends, I want to remind you that we have the 41 Magnum Defense Special load. This is one that we developed here at the program. So if you're a 41 Magnum fan like I am, certainly Georgia Arms has these in stock now. Let me tell you, they have a fabulous new catalog. You just have to see it to believe it. They have all kinds of things for sale, and of course still the best deal on ammunition I'm aware of. If I could, I would put some ammunition back, friends. Trust me on this one. Call them 1-800-624-6861. Free phone call, free catalog. Please tell them you saw it on our program.
What we have John and Jay going out with now are the first true assault rifles. They were given, Doug and Jay, they were given that name, and the Germans developed them during the Second World War when they realized that they needed something more powerful than the 9mm submachine guns they had, but not as powerful as the regular 8mm Mauser, which is comparable to a 30-06. They needed something in between. So what they developed was this round that you see me holding in my hand, the 8mm Kurz. It fires an 8mm bullet, about 125 grains, at about 2,100 feet per second. It would be a good battle round out to 300, 400 yards. To shoot it, they also wanted a weapon that had a large capacity magazine, semi-automatic loading, but with the capability to fire at full auto, like the submachine gun, for use in close-in combat. So Hitler had told the German armaments industry that no, the way the war was going, they could not develop any more rifles. However, he didn't tell them, he didn't say they couldn't develop machine pistols. So when they developed it, it was developed under the name MP44, Machine Pistola 44, and that one is stamped MP44. At one of the German conferences, one of the Russian front commanders mentioned to Hitler that, boy, he really would like some more of these new rifles that they were sending him. They looked, what new rifles? Well, one was demonstrated. Hitler thought it was so good that he says, no, this is not a machine pistola, this is a Sturmgewehr, or assault rifle. That's where the name comes from. The ones that we're going to show you today meet the one criteria that Sarah Brady and those folks never mentioned. They're fully automatic capable.
The first assault rifle.
to sure keep the enemy from sneaking up on your right-hand side, you'd kill them with the shell casings.
He's going to shoot 2 shots at this steel buffalo on the end, 4 shots at a moving buffalo after those 2 shots. Then he'll shoot last 2 shots at a steel buffalo on the left end. He'll lay his rifle down, pick up his pistol, and shoot 5 shots at the pistol targets right in front of him, all from a seated position.
4, 2, 5 pistol targets.
Right.
Shooter ready. Count down.
Jacked it out.
Yep.
One more.
What a pathetic performance.
Go ahead and get out here and play like this and be real serious about it.
Oh, this is true.
Well, James, you definitely are picturesque. What can I say? What kind of rifle is that you got there, sir?
This is a Marlin 1894 Cowboy
And
with a Marbles peep sight.
and you got a couple of Ruger Vaqueros.
1 Ruger Vaquero and 1 Ruger Bisley.
Okay, great. All right, well, we'll see you go here, sir.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're presenting Doc Cato himself. I noticed if he said something, if he can't knock the targets over with his bullets, he'll spur them to death. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Shooter ready.
Anytime.
Count down.
Four shots on the buffalo. 2 on that buffalo. Good. Oh, found it. All right. Impressive performance.
Except for those misses.
2604.
Now, friends, here it is. This is the great 1919 Browning converted to semi-automatic from the good people at NWI. This is your chance to own a real piece of history. They're very collectible. They're also a lot of fun to own and shoot, and very reasonably priced, certainly for what you get. The 1919 Browning is from NWI. That phone number, area 503-429-5001. They also have the ammunition special still going on. 30-06 ammunition, only 18 cents a round, surplus in the belt. So give them a call today, NWI, for the great 1919 Browning conversion. Also remember, they have the A6 conversion with the shoulder stock and the bipod. But these are tremendous pieces of history, also great shooters. So give them a call today, the 1919 Browning from NWI.
And that phone number is area 503-429-5001. I'll tell you what, friends, you saw Heather shooting the full auto version of this gun at the beginning of today's program, and the semi-automatic versions are just as much fun. I'll tell you what, we had super reliability with the one that Tim had loaned us for a while till one of our viewers bought it. Well, I also want to mention to you the 50 Browning version, the 50 caliber version of the Browning machine gun is also available in limited numbers. I would not put off getting the 1919 Browning or the 50 caliber if I could help it at all, friends, because we don't know what these folks in Washington are going to pull next. So give Tim a call out there, area 503-429-5001. Remember, he has some ammunition specials going on, so you can feed one of these things at a reasonable price. Do it today, and please tell him you saw it here on our show.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed very proud to be here. You'll notice my good friend Leroy Scott are with us here today. And our move, we've gotten the word from the uplink, our move to Telstar 4, Channel 6 for our shooting show is going to be permanent. That's what they told us. Our gospel show on Sunday morning will be Telstar 4, transponder 23 or channel 23. So that's from 10 to 10:30 Eastern time, our gospel show. Again, Telstar 4, channel 23. And the shooting show here, of course, if you're watching us now, you're watching on Telstar 4, channel 6. It's, you know, these things happen sometime, but, you know, our shooting show has taken a number of hits in the past, and who knows, there are probably some waiting up ahead, but what we need to do as soon as we can afford it, we need to get on more than one satellite. So if something happens, you know, this happened to us, what, about a year and a half ago, a meteor or something hit, it was T1, Telstar 1 we used to be on, then we were placed over on Galaxy 4, and then something else. Who knows, maybe the Chinese, you know, we have lambasted the Chinese here somewhat, deservedly so, because you know what, friends, right now, as we talked about, the Clintonians have sold the Chinese the technology to enable them to launch nuclear missiles against cities here in the United States. Judge, I guess that Clinton feels like he's going to get a good position with them, huh?
I don't know what kind of position he can want, but he's, I think it was all in, it's a quid pro quo for campaign contributions.
Well, what is quid pro quo?
That for which?
So in other words, they paid him and he cooperated. That's about it. Well, friends, there's some new regulation coming. In fact, we didn't even know about this when we started the program earlier. At the beginning of the show, we didn't really know what satellite, and then just in the last couple of hours, we found this out, and something else we found out. We've told you what's going to be coming in November. If you buy any kind of gun, long gun, 22 single-shot rifle, or an AR-15, or a .357 Magnum revolver, or an H&R single-shot shotgun, guess what? You're going to have to go through a background check. And Judge, as I understand so far, they can hold up the transfer of the gun for up to 3 days, according to this goofy law they've got. Comment?
I don't know how long they can hold it up, Johnny.
Well, they're thinking they can hold it up for 3 days. But there's more, friends. I think we have, certainly we want to report to you, there's some new regulation that we think's been put in place by the FBI that is up on us now. It's just right on us that if you send a gun in to be repaired, let's say you send a gun to be customized or just to be repaired, maybe to the factory to be repaired, guess what? Before they can send your gun back to you, you're going to have to go through a background check. In other words, what do you think about that, Judge?
Backdoor registration.
Backdoor registration. And there's more. About 45 minutes ago, I talked with Clark Custom Guns, and these folks have decided, since they're having so much fun with this regulation, that, and I don't know the date, it's going to be real soon, like in the next weeks or month. If you transfer a gun, but say to your neighbor or to your father or your son or whoever else in your own family or to someone just wants to buy a gun from you, before you can deliver that gun, you're going to have to get a background check on that individual. Now, Judge, in other words, if I went to wanted to give one of my kids a gun, although I've known my children for all their lives, before I can give them that gun, if just as an individual, I'd have to do a background check on my own children. Now, what's this going to do to gun shows?
It's going to kill them.
It's going to stop gun shows. You know what, friends?
What they're trying to do, incidentally.
That's what they're trying to do. You know, Leroy Scott and myself have been saying on the air for a long time now, for years, that this sort of, would you call this draconian regulation?
I don't know that I can give you a good definition of draconian, but it's, as far as I'm concerned, is an absolutely illegal regulation.
However, just because it's illegal doesn't stop the Clintons from doing whatever they want to do.
Now, friends, we've been saying that stuff like this was coming. We've said this for years now. The shooting industry, the gun industry as a whole, when we've gone to them and said, look, we're the shooting show, we are Gun TV, we need your help. You know what we've gotten from the shooting community so far, in many, by far the largest number of the industrial people? They yawned. They said, well, we're not interested. I remember an air rifle outfit I talked to a few years ago that all of you would recognize this particular name. And I talked about, said, look, we need to advertise how guns can be properly handled on television, because the kids that people buy these air rifles for are not going to be able to buy guns. You know what they told me? We're flatly not interested in promoting our product on television. So you know what's happened, friends? We, as gun owners, have been crucified on television every day. For those of you, I don't know if you saw this CBS piece that was against organized shooting like the IPSC over the past couple of weeks. It was real bad. We said this sort of thing was coming. Now then, the gun, maybe now, I don't know, maybe now when some of these gun companies and some of these suppliers actually see that they're going to be put out of business. You know, the Clarks called up to the NRA and asked them about this new regulation. You know what the NRA said?
What?
They didn't even know about it. Are you surprised to hear that?
Not really.
See, the NRA is not enough, friends. Now, they were going to call Gun Owners of America, and certainly Larry and his troops are going to get on the fax line about this immediately. But the problem is, friends, no, the NRA is not enough. I've talked to manufacturers that said, well, we give money to the NRA and they'll take care of it. Guess what? They can't take care of it. The only chance we have, friends, is buying more time on television, is buying more time on satellite, getting on more cable companies with our message, because you know what? They're here. The brown shirts are here. And when I say brown shirt, I'm talking about the same type of individuals, the bureaucrats, the people the stormtroopers that are working for the New World Order. They're at the gate now. Now, what are we going to do about it? You know, one of the things you can do about it is you can help the shooting show stay on the air. You know what, Judge? I don't like asking for money. But, you know, we've got to do it. We have to do it. And those of you out there that have cared and have supported us in the past, that's how we're here today. But guess what, friends? I mean, the battle is going on in a royal fashion. Our good conservatives, our good hunting buddies out there, our fine folks say, well, that can't ever happen here. It is happening. We need your help. If somebody out there could buy our Dan Wilson gun, heck, while we can still transfer it, if somebody could, we've got to raise some money, because we have to do more. Maybe now some of these goofy people in the gun industry will wake up and smell the coffee. We're being crucified every day on television. That's where we're taking the worst whipping. And what have they done? Well, we're going to spend money with the big network show. Those network programs, and although I'm in support of other network shooting programs, guess what? They can't tell you one iota, anything about shooting legislation, because you know what will happen? Just like what happened to us on the Outhouse channel. They'll be, if they criticize the government, if they talk about regulation, they'll be jerked off there so quickly it won't even count. They'll be gone before they know it. Right now, friends, this is critical. It is crucial. We need your help, because you know what? If we don't, if our project goes off the air, this is the only place on television that you can get this information. If our project goes down on television, that's it as far as any representation on TV. Please, please, if you can help us, send whatever you can to the shooting show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Duberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. If you can help, if somebody out there, I saw the other day where a collector paid $100 and something thousand for an old Winchester rifle. Well, you know what? I hope that those collectors out there that spend such huge dollars have all these guns at home, have all this ammunition stored up. What's going to happen when your neighbors don't have anything? What's going to happen when we are losing the opportunity to properly portray our image as gun owners as to who we really are? Are we going to let them whip us? Are we going to let them take it away? Those people out there that have huge gun collections, that have so much money invested and think they're okay, the rest of us aren't going to have any friends. You're going to be by yourself. And when the time comes and they want to get your guns, they're going to roll right up to your house. They're going to say, Mr. Jones, key to your gun room right now, sir. Make it snappy. And you'll have no option but to do it. You think you can hide deep enough, you can run far enough, you can't. There's not a person in this country that cannot be found. And you know what? It'll be a whole lot better if there's a lot of us to stand together. That's the only choice we have. The only chance we have is for as many of us to become informed. And I tell you what, I hope that I don't have a friend at election time said, you know, I'd like to vote, but that first day, you know, I got to get out to get that buck. Guess what? I hope you have a slingshot or maybe a lariat rope to catch that buck with, because you won't have any guns left. Please, friends, if you can, please help us if you can. Comment, sir?
No comment to me, Johnny.
Well, friends, that's where we are. And it is serious. And do what you can. Our shooting show newsletter is great. We appreciate our good friend Frank Dean and Ron DeLong. Judge and I have a little, I've got a little column here. He's got a little piece in there. And you can get the shooting show newsletter right now for $10. Just write to us, care of the show here, and we'll get you signed up. It's $10 for now for a year's subscription. And it is excellent. It's full of great facts, and we're trying everything we can to reach as many people as possible. It has to be done, friends. It has to be done.
Well, I made a mistake in quoting me. Note from Leroy Scott. This is a quotation. The wise, the honest, the intelligent should vote. And if you're none of these, then for the love of your country, stay away from the polls. That's P-O-L-L-S. They spelled it P-O-L-E-S.
That was the computer that spelled that, Judge. The computer didn't recognize it. You said it right, the computer. Well, computers are not, friends. Here we are again today. We hope we can continue. Please help us if you can.
Mild carbine, it's a 45 ACP conversion on the infield rifle with a suppressor. Let's see what it looks like. Well, ain't one of those discs out there.
All out of stamp sheet steel.
Hit.
And we have another hit.
And they're surprisingly Oh, a tremendously accurate piece.
Hit again.
And another hit.
I just misjudged that. Very nice.
Just press the little button. Just press the little button right here.
Press the hard now.
Just thumbs right
Oh,
up.
okay.
Now, one you've got to try PPSH.
Section. Okay, we need to know what you're shooting.
That's the
STG 44. MP 44. I'm going to shoot it semi-automatic.
What caliber are those pistols those cowboys shoot?
Okay, I'm fully automatic.
Okay.
Slick.
I'll let you.
How many we got left?
Should be.
Yeah, it must have come out of. Must have come out of that.
It's ready to go. All you do is roll through.
This is safe.
How many we got in there?
There's another. Well, there's another front end up there somewhere.
15. Maybe. You know, over here, you might be able to get a better shot of it.
Right over here. Get the water bottles. Yes, Frank.
Shoots a 7.92 by 33 millimeter. It's 8 millimeter Kurtz.
All right, let's see what the full auto does on these water bottles out here.
Oh, I had safety on there. I'm sorry.
I got it. No problem.
How about that?
Now, Mr. Rowland, can you tell me if that's really a lot of fun?
That was good.
Okay. Start again. Tell us what you have.
Notice it fires from an open bolt.
My standard answer
A
became
little more reliability that way.
Jacket full of
Let's see if we can hit a water bottle or two out there. Is it proper to have your hand along the cooling?
Put your hand anywhere. It don't matter.
It's okay. So,
15.
It goes quick. Whoa, we got one left.
Done. Take it out once in a while and pop, you know, big deal. Until I got a hold of a bullet mold.
Let's try it one more time.
Dud round.
Of the original 1870.
And friends, we want to remember our support group, our good friends Dennis and Jeannie Ritchie at Custom Leather Work and Saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana. All kinds of leather work, whatever you might need, give them a call, 1-504-667-9225. And our friends Flying Horse Enterprises, they have great artwork on the internet. You can find them at www.flyinghorse.net. And our friends at Camouflage Technologies, they paint gun stocks with all kinds of neat patterns. You can call them, area 909-674-6488. And our friend Dennis Crocker, a firearms instructor there in South Carolina, you can find him at area 864-587-8722. He gives firearms instruction throughout the state. And Wayne Bearden with Holland Guard Service down there in Meridian, Mississippi. All kinds of security work in that area. You can call them at area 601-644-3950. And our friend Bruce Warren at BC Armory. He works on semi-automatic pistols and revolvers, all kinds of custom work. You can call him, area 616-729-5508. Friends, we're out of time on today's program. We'll have more Fun Gun Weekend coverage on the next show along with our Kimber feature. Thank you so much for being with us. Remember our gospel show on Sunday morning. Also our radio show on the American Freedom Network from noon until 2 o'clock Sundays. We'll see you on the next show.